car's not tuned yet, but it just has, you know, your basic bolt-ons.
Oh my gosh. I do not get tired of K's and Hondas, dude. That's so fast.
It's not tuned yet. So I don't even know how much power it makes. I'm sure that, you know, I'm trying to hit 250 as it is after I swap in cams and cam gears, but eventually I want to hit 300 all motor. I don't care how I do it, but I want that 300 all motor.
What kind of gas are you pumping right now?
87.
Ah, okay.
I don't even put 91 because it doesn't need it.
Like, okay. So that's the goal, 300-ish plus NA.
Yep. I'm gonna figure out how to do it and I will get it done.
This is plenty fast though, as it is. Like, it pulls so nicely. It's so quick, man.
Yeah, that's why I was telling all of my friends that, you know, K series is the way to go and you get the extra gear.
It has been confirmed. K is the way.
Yes.
Alright everyone, welcome back to the Motor Anatomy. Today we have Denzel. Denzel, thank you so much for making the time for us, man. What do you drive?
Hi, my name's Denzel and I drive a 1996 Honda Civic CX.
96 Civic CX, awesome. Before we get into this awesome build, man, and some of the builds that you have somewhere around this place, this is beautiful. How did you even get started into the whole car modifying? Like, where did that bug start for you?
So when I was still living in the Philippines between 03 and 06 is when my dad started importing cars from Japan to the Philippines. So he was importing a lot of cars from Japan. They would convert it from right-hand drive to left-hand drive, and then he would sell it. And during those times, we would take those cars out to drag races in Manila, and that's where we would find sellers. So that's, you know, we'd stay up till the next day. So we'd show up like 8 p.m. at night, and then we'd still be there at 5 a.m. the next morning. And, you know, that's what I did for, you know, summers, one after the other during vacations. And that's kind of what really got me into cars.
Damn, you were living the dream. What kind of cars was your dad importing?
A lot of Hondas, a lot of Toyota Starlets, and a lot of those Honda Acti vans.
Yeah.
There's some pickups, some vans, and there's all kinds of modifications to those.
All the little key cars, right?
Yeah. And the last cars he had was, I think, a 3rd gen MR2 Turbo and a 2001 Subaru STI.
Dude,
RA.
so you grew up around, I mean, this is dad's fault, you know, this is not on you. This is dad's fault for introducing you to pretty awesome cars, man.
And Hondas were, they were the best selling and the highest demand cars. Oh. And that's because everybody could afford them. With the only one they wanted more than Hondas are the Evos, but not everybody could afford it. So America is one of the cheapest place to own cars because of, you know, you don't have to pay double the taxes like every other country who gets them imported.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. And even then we're already cheap as it is.
Yeah. They were pretty cheap back then compared to now.
So like when you were growing up, was there a specific car that you were like, okay, this is a dream car? I mean, you were around all these different legends of Japanese cars. I can only imagine.
So my dream cars, funny that you talk about it, are the Honda Civic hatchback EK9. Okay. So I wanted the Evo 8, I think is what was out at the time.
Oh, okay.
In 2003. And no, I remember seeing Evo 7s, and that's the one I wanted. So 7, 8, 9, they're pretty much the same chassis, and those were the cars I really wanted. So when I got here, I think when I turned 20, when I could afford an Evo finally, I got one, and then that led to another Evo, and then here I am building cars.
I love it, man. So, I mean, those two Evos in the back are pretty crazy, but the Civic, how did you stumble upon this Civic hatchback?
So I was deployed, I think 2018, 2019, and I wasn't home, and you know, I had internet connection, so I would check Craigslist, OfferUp endlessly just to pass time. And then I stumbled upon this car on OfferUp, and I think it was up for $3,900, and it had a B16 A2 from an EM1.
Nice.
So I told my girlfriend that night, like, hey, I need you to pick up this car for
I
me.
love it.
It was night there, it was day here. Hey, I need you to pick up this car for me, and whatever you do, you have to get it. So I sent her the money, I Zelled it to her, and she said, wait, I have a problem. I don't drive a manual.
Oh, shoot.
So she got her mom to go with her to drive it home.
Gangster.
So,
man, that's cool.
and as soon as I came home from the deployment, a couple months later, I posted a picture of this, and at least 10 people recognized the car.
It's the car itself, for being gutted. It's not loud. It's comfortable. It seems like it's very well built. Like when you mentioned you guys swapped all the suspension pieces. Like you guys did a great job. All the bushings are there. Like nothing is squeaking weird or anything.
Well, it's gutted, so I think personally it's pretty loud.
Well, aside from that, it was a gutted hatchback, dude. Like even when it's not gutted, a hatchback is loud just to begin with.
Yeah, that's true. And the exhaust is kind of drony.
No,
The tires are loud. What, that drony noise you hear? That's tires. Our 888s are known for being pretty loud tires.
Really?
Yeah. So all that whining noise that you hear, that's from the tires. It doesn't do the greatest job of pulling air from under the, that gets trapped in the wheel on the tire. It was a lot quiet when it had street tires, but with the street tires, if I were doing the same pull, I'd just spin tires.
Spin.
Yep.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool, man. That's awesome. I like that. Okay, well, thank you for your service. Big shout out to your girlfriend and her mom. I mean, she's a keeper, I guess. That's cool, man. So when she picks it up and you come home from deployment, what was the vision for it?
There was some things that were replicas, and I wanted like an all OEM, like if it rolled out of factory. So I changed the seats, the interior, and the wheels. I did a 5-lug conversion, and I tried to get it as close as I can to original.
Gotcha.
And then I got rear-ended.
Of course.
And I tried to part it out, but then I realized, like, no matter what I do, I'm gonna keep coming back to it. So after I sold everything, I had to rebuy everything. And then now
so you did resell. Oh, here's the difference. Okay, gotcha.
I parted it out. I sold a bunch of stuff just to realize I'm gonna keep coming back to it.
Oh,
so I might as well finish it or not finish it. Like we never do.
We make the best decision sometimes, huh?
Yep.
That's awesome. So the vision for it is now has it changed? You still want to be super clean? Because I know you have plans for this car. Pretty much share a little bit about that. Like in the near future, you're gonna be kind of using a different chassis and switching the parts out. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I got rear-ended. It was a clean title, but when I got rear-ended, they decided that they were gonna tow the car and salvage it. So I bought a new shell just to keep a clean title. I didn't necessarily need to, get rid of this car. But I'm like, well, I don't want to spend thousands of dollars painting it yellow. Because now that I have a white one, I want a yellow one because we always want something we can't get. So I'm like, I'm going to do it yellow this time. But this time, I'm going to roll cage it, gut it out, and do all of that. But I didn't want to paint a salvage title car because it's salvage. So I just bought a different shell, and it's sitting over there.
Makes perfect sense for you to buy a whole different car. You want to keep it clean title. I get you. I mean, that's pretty cool. It shows how focus and how you like to build your cars, and that's what matters, man. I definitely appreciate that. Well, let's talk about the car a little bit. For the front end, what do we have going on?
We just have a carbon fiber hood, Jay's Racing fenders, and an all OEM front bumper with the grill and the lip. I have an EK9 headlight, but I don't want to put it on because I take it to the track.
Oh, so you've actually tracked this car?
Yes.
Awesome. Interesting.
I just started, so I'm not the best driver there or anything.
But that's awesome, man. The fact that you're going out there and having fun, that's what matters. And so this is going to be the same look for the other car as well, or are you gonna switch it up on us on the newer chassis?
We'll see what happens.
Okay, I like that.
It's gonna be yellow.
Okay, but it's gonna be yellow.
Yeah.
What yellow?
Type R Phoenix yellow.
Type R Phoenix yellow. Yep. Okay, I like it. Nice. Okay, and then the rear has a wing. Tell us a little about the wing and what else you got going on.
I think I just picked this up from a friend. I'm pretty sure that's a replica. I think it's the Seeker version 2, if I recall.
Okay.
But I don't know. I might change it up.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, okay, definitely. And then suspension pieces, what do you have going on?
It's a Coney yellow with ground control sleeves and the top hat.
Oh, good setup. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little old school.
Do you like it?
I love it because when I started, I am constantly changing my mind. I thought it was going to be a daily, so I slapped that on. It was really good, but I don't know how I feel about it on the track. Maybe since it's sleeves, I could just take the spring out and buy a set of springs. Yeah, and make it stiffer.
It's not as stiff, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's comfortable.
Yes, it is.
But not for track. Gotcha. Yeah.
I mean, it's good for the track, but if you're trying to go like hardcore, I'm going to push everything, to the extremes.
Everything's going to be sliding.
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll take a weather check on that. Okay. And then you also say you went 5-lug. What did you end up using?
Yes, so with the 5-lug, I originally had 5 lugs with the stock studs, and I actually traded one of my closest friends for these 5 lugs, and it came with NSX brakes.
Oh.
So my friend Charles, he wanted just like me, he wanted an all OEM EK9 build, and the one he bought had a 5-lug, but it had the extended studs as you see. This was his, and it had the stock studs. So we traded, straight trade, and he let me keep the brakes and the extended studs, and we actually rebuilt it, changed all the bushings and the bearings and everything in the process.
Wow.
And got free NSX brakes from Charles.
That's cool. Shout out to friends like Charles. And then tell us about the wheel and tire setup. It's obviously one of the most iconic setups.
This is the Spoon 16x8 plus 35s, and these are the original from 1999, I think. They're not the remakes, which is what I was really looking for a long time. It's just they're really hard to come by, and I think this is the most expensive single thing in the car.
I don't even want to ask you. Let's just leave it at that.
And the tires are Toyo R888s, 225 on, and these are 16s.
Wow, I love that setup.
It's the widest I can go without really, pulling the fenders. But the fenders, these are shaped. And one thing to note about the Jay's Racing fenders, which is why I liked it, they're plus 15, but they have all the tabs to put the fender liners, because for some reason no fender liners bother me. I don't know why. So if you look at my other cars, like that one doesn't have fender liners, and when I'm standing right here, it bothers me. So that guy, I'm gonna put fender liners on.
I don't know what to say to that. That's funny though. Most guys are like, no, I don't want the fender liner.
Yeah.
But okay. Yeah, that's awesome.
But that's just me, like.
No, yeah. But that's what makes it cool. I mean, there's somebody out there who's gonna be watching these videos like, yeah, dude, me too. Yeah. You're not the only one. Yes. So hashtag save the fender line. Okay, and then we can make our way to the back, and then obviously the rest of the car. Tell us about the rear lip. What do you have?
It's an OEM EK9 rear lip, and it has this carbon trunk or hatch. I was gonna re-clear it, but I just haven't had time. The hood I just re-cleared.
Okay.
I sprayed it not too long ago. I was gonna do this, but I ran out of time. It has an EK9 a torsion bar. So instead of a crash bar under this bumper, it has a torsion bar, which I have a picture of if you want to see it later.
Yeah, that's cool. That's nice.
And that's the EK9 taillights. These are the OEM. And that's pretty much it. I do have a 3-inch exhaust, the Gretty SP, I think is what it's called. And I think from when I was looking for an exhaust, these are the only exhausts that's true 3-inch that I could find. That's quiet.
That's quiet.
I'm sure you can find a bunch of 3-inch exhausts, but this is the only one that's quiet that I
go droney and stuff.
It's droney, but on idle it's quiet. So in case I get pulled over, I just stay on idle and
stay in neutral, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So no hatchbacks in America came with power windows, from what I was told. I had a donor car. All the wiring is OEM. Locks, power mirrors, and power windows. The car's really dirty because I don't drive it and it just sits here.
Oh,
I don't really
you know
spend
how
the
many
time
people
to
are so
clean it.
mad right now? They're like, damn.
Yeah, but
Give me that car. I'll drive it every day.
I'm trying to avoid the hassle of getting pulled over.
Nah, I completely understand.
I have the EK9 cluster, the EK9 steering wheel, and this little thing.
The coin?
Yeah. Or I
Ah.
thought it was for like cigarettes or something, but I don't really smoke.
It's for coins, yeah. You can do whatever you want. It's your part.
And then the e-brake or the armrest delete on the e-brake, that's
Mm.
EK9. I'm looking for OEM black interior pieces, but you know, the left-hand drive. These are EK9 seats, and I've had DC2 seats in here before, but if you put them in, only 3 bolts fit, and they sit much lower. So these are the proper EK9 seat rails for them.
Gotcha.
It has the OEM red carpet, and I think those floor mats came from Russia. They're not OEM because OEM would mean that you're gonna get a right-hand drive carpet.
Gotcha. Yeah. Sweet, man. And then it's
And
got
the
in the
door
back.
panels. Yeah.
Nice.
So if you look at the top pads, those are the Coney extended 2-inch, and that's really everything notable in there. And the sound deadening was removed. They removed it.
Yeah. There's nothing back there.
Nope.
We can tell. All right. Well, let's take power plant. Let's see what we got going on. All that gutting for that D-series, right? Let's see. Oh, okay.
On the other side, I'm used to the Evo.
All right, we'll get you. Okay, so, I mean, you just,
It is
I mean-
a K24 A2.
I'm like speechless. I'm like, okay.
It's really dirty because I don't clean it. I don't really drive it.
No, that's what's up, man. This is
If I
cool.
drive it, I'm driving it like I'm driving the piss out of it, and
Oh
that's
my
the only
god.
time we drive it.
All right, sorry, Denzel. What are we looking at, man?
This is a K24A, which is equivalent to the K24A2 TSX, but this is a JDM motor. Don't be fooled by the 2-liter. I just changed it to an RBC intake manifold, and I like to put the cover on there because I don't know. That's another thing that bothers me.
That and the fender light.
Yeah. And it has, I believe, the 8th gen SI PNN3 or PNN4 transmission.
Okay.
The harness is off of a RSX Type S. The ECU is also from an RSX Type S. And one thing I did is I bought a crashed RSX Type S.
Get out of here. Just
Yep.
for the swap.
Just to get everything I need, because I hate piecing stuff off. And it makes it so much simple, and I have everything I possibly need. So I bought an RSX Type S that was crashed, I think for like $1,800 or so. Pretty cheap. And I got thousands of dollars worth of parts, and then I ended up selling the transmission and the block, and I have everything I need. It made me, it made a little extra work, but it saved me so much money.
In time.
I think it made me money, as a matter of fact.
Probably made you money. I'm not gonna lie on that price. Okay, so it hasn't been open. It's still stock.
Still stock. I gotta
Love it.
change. I was gonna change the cam gears, the VTC, from the TSX came with a 25-degree. I was gonna change it to either 50 pin to 35 or 40, but when I was just gonna change the cams while I did that. So
Okay.
I'm probably gonna do it all at once when I pull the motor out to swap it into the other car.
Gotcha. Wow. So you mentioned you originally bought it with the B16. What made you go K?
The B16 blew up.
Okay.
Why, I don't know, but as soon as it blew up, I was like, I'll just get rid of it.
I'm just gonna guess the way you drove too. Maybe.
No, actually,
Oh no.
when I'm cruising on the freeway,
Oh.
for the most part, I just cruise at 70. I don't speed on the freeway, and it saves me gas. So I don't cruise at 80, I cruise at 70. And I didn't really beat the hell out of that B16 very much. But this one's been taking a beating.
Gotcha.
And these engines are pretty cheap too.
But don't say that, because then they're gonna start going in price. let them just. Okay, so that's what made you go. Okay, this is perfect though, man. I know that you're gonna switch all this stuff to the other one, but what are the future plans for the engine compartment? Staying NA? Are you doing anything crazy?
On that one, it's gonna be a shaved engine bay.
Okay.
And I'm probably gonna tuck the radiator and the wire and the brake lines, and move the battery somewhere and just have a clean engine bay. Makes it easier to work on too.
Okay. Keeping the NSX calipers and all that good stuff?
No, I'm gonna get rid of the NSX calipers and go with the spoon. Which is why I went with the 16s as opposed to the 15s. Because if I get the spoons, I'm getting the spoon monoblocks instead of the twin blocks.
Nice.
But I haven't came across anybody that ran the monoblocks. Everybody I know has a twin block. So I'm still looking for feedback from somebody who has a monoblock, and if you have a monoblock, hit me up and tell me how you like it.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I love the power plant. Love what you're doing, and can't wait to see the other one. That's the reason why we specifically asked to do this one first, because we want to see it before, and then if you are nice enough to invite us over when the thing is, you know, done again, it's gonna be pretty fun. So was this the first K-swap car that you ever swapped in, or did you have experience with the K-swap before?
First one. And I like the K series more so than the B series where I originally came from, because of cam phasing, the VTC.
Okay.
That, and they made pretty good choices with displacement as opposed to 1.6, 1.8, 2.0. They have a 2.0 and a 2.4. And they're more fuel efficient for some reason.
And price, you said it's a little cheaper now, because the B series now price, it's horrible. You can't even find a V20 block, which is kind of crazy. The car feels so light. I mean, K-swap, hatchback, gutted. Perfect.
2.4 liters, 6-speed.
Any short shift there?
Yeah, you want to move it front and back?
Oh, okay. That's really short.
Most K series, I don't know if you know, they usually have like the whole billet shifter sticking out.
Yeah,
I like to have the shift boot and not let people know that standing in the parking lot that I have a K series on there with the billet.
It's like subtle, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really direct. What company?
Hybrid Racing.
All right, Denzel, thank you so much, man, for making the time for us. This is pretty rad. We keep talking about some of the builds in the back. We may not go into detail on those just because, you know, you got so much stuff going on, but regarding this hatchback, man, I cannot wait to see the future plans for it. I think that the next chassis is going to be even better, and I'm so looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to coming back. But any shout outs, man?
Shout out to my girlfriend for picking it up. Shout out for Charles for always giving me a hand. All of my friends that, you know, convinced me to keep the car and not to get rid of it, and anybody who I forgot to mention that helped me build the car.
All right, man. Keep it simple, huh? Well, I mean, I can't wait to see the progress in all the other cars, because this is Japanese heaven, man. You have no idea. But I appreciate the time, man, and looking forward to the progress on this car, man. Thank you.
All right, thank you.